There is some language in this episode that is maybe not suitable for children. Like more so than the usual amount of unsuitableness for children that Dustin and I have on the show. So just something to think about if you're listening around your kids. All right, let's get to the show.
Hey, I'm Dustin.
And I'm Steve. Welcome back, listeners, to the finest phototainment in the world. That's right, you're listening to another episode of the Wedding Photo Hangover podcast, an irreverent look at wedding photography. This podcast, like aspirin, will help you recover from your wedding hangover. Dustin, today we have some special guests on the episode.
The specialist, Steven.
Yes. So for all of you squeams out there, you probably already know who they are, but we're going to jump straight into our interview with Lisa Mark and Rebecca Lozer of the Secret Life of Weddings podcast. We're so excited to share this with you guys. Dustin and I are super excited today. We are joined by two of my favorite podcasters. They're both photographers. It is Lisa Mark and Rebecca Lozer. Most of our listeners already know who they are because if I look at our group on Facebook, I think it's something like 75% of the people in our group are also in the Secret Life of Weddings group, which is their podcast. So I almost feel like they don't need an introduction, but they are two amazing photographers from Canada, and we are incredibly excited to have them on the show today.
Thank you. We're not at that level.
Wow.
Like,
I love that.
we need all the introductions we can get.
Yeah, really.
In life. Yeah. I'll take it.
We just built the mountain for you guys. We need you to stay there.
Okay, deal.
Sliding
Thank you
out.
for having us.
Thank you for being here.
I am so excited to have you guys on. As I told you right before we started recording, I've been listening to your podcast since it's like episode 9 or something when I first found it. And I was like, oh, there's another like comedy wedding podcast out there that just started up. And then I listened to it and I got super jealous because it was so much better than our podcast. And you guys were so much funnier and so much more likable. And your branding was so good. And then I had to take like a few weeks off. And then I binged and caught up to get over my jealousy. And ever since then, it's like as soon as an episode comes out, I listen to it right away. It's one of my favorite things every week. For a while, my wife and I were listening to episodes when we were driving to shoot weddings. And then we had to stop that because then we were looking for terrible things at the wedding the whole time. So for those of you who don't know, Lisa and Rebecca do a podcast called The Secret Life of Weddings where they talk about shit stories from weddings. And they share other people's stories, people who write in, stuff they find on Reddit. Every once in a while, something they find in a Facebook group and they vet out. And it's some of the wildest, most crazy stories that you've ever heard in your life. And it is one of the funniest things if you're a wedding photographer, just to listen to it and to hear all the crazy stories that people have.
People are messed up. We've discovered this.
Yes.
And all the crazy comes out at weddings. It's amazing. It's like just a giant squeeze and just all the crazy people start to float out.
Yeah.
We just basically get a giant butterfly net and go around and catch them all and then try to profit off of that. And you know what? It's going really well. I highly recommend it. You could do it with any genre, really. Just look for the insanity.
Yeah.
And get the butterfly net.
Get the butterfly net. Squeeze it like orange juice into a podcast form. Get a good Patreon
Loosely.
going. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's working. Yeah. We enjoy making fun of things.
Is that what you call the editing of the podcast? Is just squeezing it like an orange? And
No, that's what I did to Rebecca when we first started recording because she's a massive introvert. I had to legit be like, talk.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
She was so quiet. The first episode, we have a historic photo. I don't know if you ever saw it, Steven, but it's legit her with her head in her shirt, hiding.
yes, I've seen that.
Despite the fact that no one could see me,
She-
except for you.
It was adorable, but she's come so far. It's been over a year we've been doing the podcast and people have come out of the woodwork and it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
That photo of Rebecca cracks me up because I have a friend who's like a crazy introvert and he used to live with a married couple and the married couple started fighting in front of him one time and he didn't know what to do because he couldn't leave the house because he lived there. So he just picked a pillow up and he put the pillow in front of his face while they were fighting.
And that's
amazing.
That's his coping mechanism. I love that.
I'm going to have to remember that next time my wife yells at me. I'm just going to pick up a pillow. Does it work like that too, Steve?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I'm a little worried though, because Rebecca's been stressed lately. So I'm afraid she's going to be taking that long drive home just 1-2 times many. Just take a pillow during the drive and just right up in front of her face.
Oh my God.
I need you to get back here. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Is it snow covered where you guys are?
No,
Not right
we
now.
have no snow. It's crazy. There's no snow. And no, we don't live in igloos.
Can we just do this
I had
now?
to put that out there because you
Can
know
we-
how many times people say that to me when I go to the US?
I know. Listen,
It's so funny.
let's just do this now.
Okay.
We don't say sorry. Yes, we say sorry a lot, but we don't say sorry. We don't add a to the end of every sentence.
No.
You have to use it in a certain way. It's like, I don't know, I was really mad. That's not how we do it. We go, oh, fuck, that pizza was really good, eh? Oh, see, I just dropped an F-bomb and you have to edit it out now. Sorry.
no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I could just mark this one as explicit if I really want to.
Yeah.
You may as well get people prepared for our show. We don't say a boot. We say about. Is there anything else? We have Tim Hortons. We like it. It was ours first. I know it's in the US, but
It was ours first.
It's ours first.
it's in a Canadian hockey player. What else? We don't live in igloos.
No.
There is not
So
snow
wait,
here all the time. We have
You guys are
crazy
from
hot-
Canada?
Yeah.
Oh.
We have crazy hot summers, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Beer is as big a deal up here as you think it is.
yes.
Anything else?
Oh, is that
No.
beer or bears?
Beer.
Beer.
Both?
Oh, and there's not moose walking around.
I've never seen a moose. So,
No.
and I'm 34 years old. I'm waiting,
Yeah.
bated breath, and no moose
Yeah.
has walked by yet.
Yeah.
So,
I've seen a moose before in the United States of America.
Cool.
oh, that one.
That's why we have to build the wall to keep the moose in Canada. They're all coming over.
They're illegal. Illegal moose.
Well-
Illegal mooses.
No, illegal meese. Isn't that the?
Meese.
Isn't meese the plural of moose?
Multiple mooses
Or is
equals
that
one
mice?
meese.
Or is that mice? That might be the plural of mice.
I think a baby meese is a mice.
I'm failing at your
both
podcast.
like cheese.
right now.
Both like cheese. That's really what it comes down to.
Moose.
They now regret having us on.
Yeah, moose like cheese.
Yeah,
Okay, did not know that. Okay,
it's okay.
all right.
Take that
my
nugget
God.
home.
I believe it's mice who like cookies and mooses who like muffins. I believe canonically from the children's books.
Canonically,
Yeah.
So we're photographers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here to take control of this podcast since Dustin and I want.
Oh, that's okay. You've listened to us. We can go off for 25 minutes and then we get
We're
and
bad.
and then
We're
we'll
so
get an
bad.
angry review saying they talked, they bantered. How dare they?
Yeah.
I mean, most of our reviews are great, but then you've got we very much have a love-hate thing with our listeners. It's like,
sure.
and then I'm like, why are you listening long enough to leave me this angry review if you hate me so much?
Speaking of
True.
angry reviews and people taking pictures, what led you guys to get into photography?
I like that segue. Very
Nice.
good.
Well done.
Well done. Well, first of all, I'd like to preface this by saying, knock on wood, never had a bad review. Thank you very much. What got us into photography? I got into rock photography first, music photography, which I still do. But I remember specifically going to concerts with my mom as a kid, and I went to see Bryan Adams in particular.
Mhm.
And I remember I was shooting on just a film camera, and I took pictures, and I remember the excitement, just that sheer, oh my God, of bringing the film to the 1 hour photo. I used to be so excited. I used to make my mom pay the exorbitant fee to get those photos in an hour. Probably shitty printing because, an hour. I didn't care. And I just remember opening the packet and looking at the photo and being like, oh, that's such a good photo of him. And it was like this thrill of capturing that moment. And then I realized very quickly I was into people photography. I wasn't that kid who's like, give me a macro lens and I'm going to go take a picture of a bee on a petal. I didn't give a crap about any of that. I was just like, how do I shoot rock stars, basically? And then since then, I've done a lot of that. I've shot Slash
Mhm.
from Guns N' Roses. I had a private photo session with him. I've done live shows of everybody from Iggy Pop to, Stones, U2, all them. And just even from the crowd and doing it kind of that way. And sometimes I go the PhotoPass route and shoot for a magazine. Sometimes I do it guerrilla style, but it's kind of my passion. And then from there, I kind of just naturally got into wedding photography. Like someone asked me, you know what I mean? I used to work in advertising, and someone, after I got out of school for photography, someone's like, can you shoot my wedding kind of thing? And I was so freaking terrified. I had my friend from college come with me and we did it together, and they were aware of my skill level, and we did it, and it went really, really well. And then I just was like, okay, I can do this. And then slowly but surely did a little more, a little more. And then I really grew to love it and realized there was this incredible art in photography and wedding photography that was so not known about. And it was Jared Gionis in particular for me that gave me someone to look up to. And I fell in love with his style. And if you look at my work, especially early on, I was like, how do I learn off camera flash? How do I create that drama, that editorial look, that really beautiful color, and get those skies? I was obsessed with clouds for a good 2 years. I would drive down the road and my husband, I'd just be looking at the sky going, oh, those clouds are so pretty. Why don't I have a model right now to shoot this sky? Like with off camera flash. So that was sort of how I got into it. But the whole love of music photography has stayed with me. And it's something that I kind of did in college, came out of just because I had a family. I built my business. We bought a house. I had 2 babies, the whole thing. And now I've gone back into it, which is really cool. And it's, I guess my point is you have to keep the passion stuff. So even if the wedding photography is your day job, I mean, there's not a ton of us that, even if we love our job, we don't typically do wedding photography as a passion project. Right? You don't do it in your free time, so to speak, but you make like no money off music photography. So that's what I do as a passion project. So that's how I got into it.
Nice.
And you're avoiding saying that you recently quit wedding photography then too, right?
I did. Well, I didn't think that would be good for your brand.
That's great for our brand.
I want the honest truth. I don't want what's good for our brand.
Well, I didn't want to shit on your brand. So yeah, I've done it for 11 years and I'm just done. I'm just done. I've just had enough. My clients, let me preface this by saying my clients are amazing. They've always been amazing. I've been so lucky. It's not that. It's just you do something for so flippin' long that you can't do it anymore. I can shoot a wedding, not to sound cocky, I really don't mean to. I feel like I can shoot a wedding with my eyes closed. I have my kit. I have all my gear. I have my go-to poses.
Bird box style.
I haven't seen it yet.
Me either.
Yes.
No. But you know what I mean? Like I've got it down pat and I need a new challenge. And actually I was saying to Rebecca, for a creative person like me who always needs a different project, 11 years is a heck of a long time for me to be a wedding photographer and actually
for sure.
do the same thing for so long. And I built it up and, we built our house or, no, we did not build our house, but I mean, we bought our house.
Bricks.
we bought, I bought bricks and mortar. And I would shoot a wedding.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I know
everything.
That's
it's
who
so
I am.
funny.
I'm a multitasker. I'm crazy. She's learned this. I'll text her 40 times at 3 a.m. But anyway, it's like I'll shoot a wedding and then I'll come home and I'll buy a brick with the money from that wedding and I'll buy the mortar and then I'll put it on in the middle of the night and I'll build it. And I built my house up from the bottom. But no, seriously, I employed my husband. Like he worked with me for like most of those 10 years and we built our family business up in it and it practically killed him, I think, when I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because I'm bored, man. And it's nothing to do with the client. It's nothing to do with anything else. But
so now is your husband shooting the weddings and you're pieced?
No, he's not.
He bought the business off you?
Justin, I love him to death. But you know what's funny? He is my second shooter. But he does it for the money. He's always said it. No, but he's ironically very good at it. So you know how there's people who are creatives and they do it for the passion and they do it for the work and they get excited about the work and creative and
but they're not good? Is that what you're going to say next?
No, there's those too. But no, I was one of the better ones.
Oh, you were talking about yourself now. I thought you were just comparing Justin.
I was talking very earnestly about how talented I am. So no, there are some really crappy photographers out there, but there's some amazing ones too. But my point is, Justin is a really good photographer. I taught him all the technical because he got bored. He was just carrying him around my reflectors and stuff. And I was like, and he's like, can I pick up this camera? I'm like, yeah, okay, make yourself useful. So he picked it up and he had an eye for it naturally, but he failed photography in high school, guys. Okay. So That is something he ironically is very proud of saying because we've built this business. But my point is I trained him on the technical side. He's been a great second shooter all these years, but he's always said like, yeah, but I do it for the money. I don't care. Like he cares about our clients, but he doesn't care about the art of it. So I just laugh thinking about him taking over the business as a photographer. He'll miss the money, but that's about it. Sometimes it's just not worth the money anymore, though. You have to know when you're going to start doing not crappy work, but when you're bored and when you get complacent and when you're just not inspired anymore. And I think you have to be self-aware.
Yeah, for sure.
And be honest with yourself. You know, I think you're getting to that point too, aren't you, Rebecca?
Yeah, I'm still shooting though.
She is still shooting, but you are.
No pressure.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've been doing it for a while. So, yeah.
I know. It's just when you do it for over 10 years, we actually tell him what you told me about the whole 10-year mark thing with established photographers. You were saying,
I love that you think I can remember this.
Okay. She was just saying like, you've noticed that in the industry, most photographers will hit 10 years.
Yeah. They're either reevaluating what they're going to do, go in a new direction, or flat out just drop it. I feel like that 10-year mark is where you start to feel uninspired.
Yeah.
And I think it's more because people have stopped doing any passion projects and it's more about working, because a lot of the times in that gap, you start to move towards getting a house and getting married and having kids and what have you. So all that kind of takes over and it becomes more of a job. In my opinion.
Oh, it's been a job for a lot longer than that for me.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I do. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So, Rebecca, what led you into doing photography?
I actually had a hand injury. I used to paint and sketch. So that was more my medium. But
okay, how did I not know this about you after a year and a half?
I don't really tell people. I don't know why.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, go.
I feel like I don't share a lot of myself. Introvert. But anyways, I had an injury to my hand and I have nerve damage. So I couldn't draw after that or paint.
Oh, no.
I know nothing about you.
Yeah. So I had to find, it was a few years and I started having kids and I started taking a lot of pictures of my kids. And then I realized, oh, you know what? Why don't I go take a course at the college and see if I like it? And I did that. And I went through night school with 3 little kids in tow and did photography for a couple of years.
That's insanity.
And then, it kind of took off from there. Weddings, I had no intention of shooting weddings.
She went, hell no.
I had no, because you know why? I'm an introvert. So I'm not good at approaching people. So all my friends that I have,
I thought you were going to say,
they have approached me in life. I'm
not good at people.
I'm really not good at people. So and for weddings, I realized you have to be like on and you have to like rock it. And I was like, yeah, no. But what happened was I had this other studio contact me and they really liked my family work and stuff. And they asked me if I would consider shooting weddings for them. So I thought, okay, well, that kind of maybe. So I started second shooting, which was really comfortable because I didn't have to be the one telling everybody what to do. So that was good. I didn't have to talk to people too much. And then it kind of like, I just came out of my shell from there a little bit. And then I started doing my own because, well, I wanted to make more money. So, yeah.
Pro tip, you make more money when you don't shoot for other studios.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, you get paid jack from them. Sorry, I just shit on a lot of studios, but
womp womp.
I don't care. It's true. But at the same time, I put in my hours big time working under other photographers before I went out on my own.
Which is tip number 2.
Yes.
Don't be a dick and go out and do it like with no experience whatsoever.
No, I mean, it's a very stressful day. I actually had a client, I did his family pictures, just a quick story. And he went out and shot a wedding for the first time and he did it as a favor for a friend. He emailed me that night at like midnight to let me know how hard it was and that he didn't realize it was so hard. And he's like so nervous, even though he shot it for free. It was for a favor for a friend. And he was like, I'm never doing that again. He goes, you guys do not get enough credit.
The pressure's real.
Yeah. But I live off that. I don't know if you guys do. It's like, that's my adrenaline rush is a wedding. Because I'm like, oh, don't F it up. Don't F it up.
That was so cute.
There was so much pressure. Oh, I don't want to drop the F-bomb on
I
him.
know. I already did it to him once.
Yeah.
It was an accident.
You can do it all you want. I'm just going to mark it as explicit.
Nice.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm just catching up.
That's my
Okay.
fun and boring tale.
That's not boring. You told me 2 or 3 Rebecca things I didn't know.
Yeah, no, your story might be the most tragic story I've ever heard about why somebody got into photography. It was beautiful.
Everyone cry.
And yeah.
She had the talent of a young Leonardo da Vinci.
Right?
And then it went down the shitter and she became a photographer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's okay. Sorry about that.
I feel like it's a Lifetime movie that's in the making.
It's like a total Hallmark moment for sure.
Yeah. Well, you are obsessed with those, so maybe she's just making all this up for your benefit.
There
You know
go.
what it is? She goes, I got
Drama.
it. I got a camera for Christmas and thought I'd start shooting weddings. That's
Yeah.
That's the true story.
that's the true behind
Oh
the
my
scenes.
God, I hear kids. Who's kids?
That is my daughter. She just got home from preschool and she ran
yeah.
in here, but she's too short to be seen on the camera. And then
Aw.
she was trying to tell me something and then she ran back out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's so cute.
I have those.
Love it. My kids are old. I don't have that.
How old are your guys' kids? Or do you feel comfortable sharing that? You don't have to.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Well, you're going to know how old I am now.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Oh, is that why you're not comfortable sharing? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm old as
You're so not.
I'm not going to say it.
You had them young, girl.
I mean, Lisa already said she was 34,
Yeah.
which means she's the same age as me. And then Dustin's the baby
You guys
here.
are-
He's like 28, 30.
You guys are babies.
19.
Baby.
19. Yeah.
Babies.
Been doing this for 32 years. But
Total babies.
Yeah. 18, almost 16, and 14.
You're 18?
No, my kids.
It's fucking with you. It's okay.
Yes, look at me. I mean, really.
Look at this.
Love it.
Latat.
look at this hanging neck.
I can't wait to share this video on our Patreon.
There is nary a turkey neck in sight.
Jiggle, jiggle.
No. She's got the teens and I've got the sassy little 6 and 4-year-old. So
Yeah.
almost 7 and 5. So we have an interesting dynamic because she gets to go, oh, I missed that days. And I'm like, you don't remember how crappy it was. And then she goes, it's hard now. And I'm going, you don't know how good you have it. And
Yeah.
It's okay. Right before we started this episode, I was cleaning poop off my floor and vomit out of my rug. from,
dog or kid?
Both children, both
Okay.
human.
Okay.
Aw.
It's grosser that way. I don't know
Are they
why.
sick?
Dustin, if you just left it, your dogs would have ate it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we are all sick.
ew.
We are all sick over here, and they
Aw.
are reacting to their antibiotics. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had that one.
That sucks. I hope you guys are all better soon.
Hmm.
yeah, you guys are my medicine.
Aw.
Oh,
Yeah.
smooth.
Yeah. You married?
I am. She's getting her hair done right now while I podcast with you while my children puke and poop downstairs.
Who is watching your children?
So you'll be all set for a date when she gets home.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My children are only not even 1 and not even 3. So they
Oh,
completely
gosh.
take care of themselves. So don't stress or be worried.
See, I remember what it's like to be you, and I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
I don't remember. That's
human
that's
life.
the wonderful thing about it.
Anytime you want to come and babysit, you let me know and we will get those memories pulled out of you.
Perfect. Love it.
It's a short drive from Toronto to Indiana.
Yeah,
Just down the road.
Like
Oh, yeah.
35 minutes.
so close. Let's go for beers. It's fine.
Perfect.
So you guys are both excellent photographers with stunning styles. And
Oh, you.
I was just wondering, like, how did you guys develop your sense of style and taste? I know Lisa kind of already mentioned this with her inspiration and trying to emulate the people that she saw and then developing her own sort of style from that. But do you guys want to talk a little bit more about that and like what it is that kind of brought you to where you are today? I mean, if I had to describe it, I'd say Rebecca is kind of more like dark and moody sort of photographer, and then Lisa's more of like it's like studio lighting sort of look to what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. And I would say pretty much the whole Jerry Gionis thing. It's like, I really, as much as I saw other photographers, went to WPPI, respected other photographers, went to classes, he was the one I really latched on to stylistically. Like his work really spoke to me. So I think when I was young, it was very much like I want to be like you. I want to emulate you in my own way. And I tried to do that. And I think I was successful in doing that. And then it just at a certain point, becomes your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of almost remember that moment when I was like, oh, I have my style, like I remember realizing all of a sudden, like, this is me. For a while, it was like I was just trying to emulate. And then eventually it was just like, nope, this is me now. And I get it. And I know what I'm good at. And I know what my clients respond to. And I think it's just natural evolution. But even to this day, I look at other photographers, but honestly, it actually kind of depresses me because they're so freaking good. You look at like a Jose Villa and stuff, and you're just like, I'm just quitting now. and I think a lot of
get out now.
just leave. I kicked myself out of my own house. I just think it's one of those things where you just, if you do too much of paying attention to that stuff, you'll get down on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell I'm getting cynical about the wedding industry?
No, you're just very passionate, and that's why we like you.
Wedding photography podcast.
No, he asked me why I was leaving. And it's just, I guess all of these things. And I feel like I'm growing out of it. That's a big part of it is like, I'm 34, been doing this now for like 10, 11 years. And I think that the newer generation is coming up, the millennials, and just feeling a little disconnect there. 34 is not old, but I'm feeling kind of old comparatively to some of the young photographers.
It gets harder and harder to book clients every year because we keep getting older. And for the most part, the people getting married are the same age.
Yeah.
To steal that Matthew McConaughey line.
I was just about to do that. They stay the same age. Yeah. Yes, they do.
So, Rebecca, where do you draw your inspiration from?
Oh, God. I was more drawn to, like, I love Lisa's work. I can't do it to save my life. Like, I really can't. I cannot be that overly posed person. Not
calling me overly posed?
No, I don't mean it negatively. I mean, I'm
teasing.
Okay, I've assisted her before. She's like right down to the hands, feet, everything. Like, I cannot do that. Honestly, like I said on our podcast, we were telling a story about the father of the bride walking the bride down the aisle, and he had a beer in his hand, and Lisa's like, I would have grabbed it from him, and I said I would have let him hold it. Like,
that's essentially the difference between the two of us.
Yeah. I'm more about as it's happening, and I don't know, I'm just drawn to that style, and I think it kind of just naturally came
more
on
photojournalistic,
and I think most photographers that contact me, they usually they love how I come in so tight, and so do my clients. So I think that's more about my style than really at the moodiness is for sure. But I mean, it's more they're drawn to that really tight shot for whatever reason. Because the wide ones, I'm okay at it, but I'm not as great at it. So. I can totally fully admit that. But the style, no, I can't name names. I don't know. Like I think I followed so many people. And that was my mistake at the beginning for new people, I will say. Do not follow so many photographers. I mean, it took me longer to find my style that way because I was trying to follow what was trending. Like Lisa can attest, I've been dark and moody for years. And
she's moody as fuck.
Before it became a thing, right? Like before it was a trend, I was already there. But fortunately, it became a trend, and I started, making money off of it,
profiting off her style.
But yeah, so I don't know. I can't really. And then once I found what I liked, I just stuck with it and wrote it out, and hopefully it came, and it did. So the boat came in. Yeah. It's hard now, I think, for photographers to find their style. Because there's so much trendy shit out there that it's kind of swaying them too much.
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of looking the same. You know what I mean?
Everybody's more concerned with Instagram likes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
100% on what you guys just said about Instagram likes and everybody looking the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Rebecca, you mentioned that you've shot for Lisa. Do you guys shoot with each other often, or have you?
I didn't shoot for her. I assisted her. So I was her bitch. Like I was holding reflectors and shit.
Still is. No, she was. That's how we met at an engagement.
I honestly won't do that for anybody.
Mhm.
Like, no, I'm dead serious. I won't assist anybody.
You'll only be Lisa's bitch.
Yes,
Got it.
yes. Like it's more like a favor, right? Like
Totally.
Yeah. I mean,
I think I was stuck one day and I was like, here you go, $50. Want to come out and hang, hold on to a reflector? It's easy.
yeah, and I admired her work, and it benefited me because I wanted to see how she worked because I actually like how extroverted she is. So, and I'm an introvert, so I was kind of drawn to it. So, it's just like second shooting. I still second shoot once in a while, but it's only for people I actually am inspired by. If I'm really drawn to their work and I'm really curious about how they work, I'll go second shoot for them. And I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. It's just that I don't need to second shoot.
Yeah, you're experienced now.
So yeah, I mean, because the money's not there. So
no, the money's not there. Your work is gorgeous on its own. There's really not a point to do it.
No.
And it's your time because your time away from your family is
if I'm taking a Saturday to second shoot, then it's going to be for someone I really am drawn to their work. Like I second shot for Leanne Weston this past year. So, and she's incredible.
Yeah.
I love her.
She's got beautiful work. Yeah.
But and that's how we met.
Yeah. I'm like, here, hold this. And then we have a podcast now.
That was a long time ago.
How long ago was it?
7 years, maybe 6.
Yeah. A long time ago.
And then we've just been floating around in our Facebook friends since then. And we'll see each other, occasionally at a group function or something. And that's pretty much it. I can't really remember the shoot though. I have no idea. She tells me it was at a shoot and I'm like, okay. I don't remember.
Yeah. I think it was the one at the apple farm.
You think it was the one there, right? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, that's the story and we're sticking to it.
That one time at an apple farm. There probably wasn't another engagement shoot in an apple farm ever. So
we're so Canadian.
No.
And then a podcast empire was born from there.
I was born from a terrible experience where I had her work for me.
Oh, I did shoot for her. That's right.
You did shoot for me one time. Not with me, though. You came...
what is this story? I don't think I've ever heard this on Slow.
We've never told it.
Have I never told this story?
It's like...
kind of inside info.
It's bad.
What a better place to tell it than here, then.
I was saving it for the book. I'll give the gist of it. I won't go into crazy detail. I'll give the gist. Basically, we had a very high maintenance mother of the groom who wanted coverage at her house, and it just logistically was too far. So this, does happen sometimes, and that's totally fine, where, mom wants coverage of some family photos and whatever. So we just say, okay, well, why don't we bring in a third shooter? Because my second never leaves me. It's usually Justin or whoever, but I always need an assistant because of the style I do. So anyway, I said, cool. I didn't have any red flags at this point that they were high maintenance. I promise, Rebecca. But I was just basically like, she just needs some family stuff. Do you mind just going and doing this and, pay us this? And she goes, yeah, that's cool. So she goes and does it. And it's a freaking nightmare. And then I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I took her out to dinner, I think, to say sorry. And we were just chatting about shit show wedding stories. And I said, that would make a good podcast. And The Secret Life of Weddings was born over drinks that night.
Yeah.
And then we started.
So that was like a year and a half, 2 years ago when that happened?
Yep. And then if you know Lisa, when there's an idea born, it happens immediately.
The next day we had our website, our branding, our just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Because you guys have been talking a lot recently about the way you two work together as you guys are getting ready to launch like this new thing you guys have done. It's cool if we talk about that here, the pod. And like talking about how Lisa works super late at night and Rebecca works during the morning / daytime, stuff like that.
We're complete opposites.
Yeah. She's like my work wife. She's my, she's really similar to my husband actually, which is so funny. And I think that's why we get along so well. Because she's the equivalent of my husband, but in my girlfriend.
I'm the female version.
She is. She's like the female version of my husband.
That's weird because like Steve is like my work husband.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Doesn't sound as cool when we say it.
No, work wife is cuter, but it's true. I'll text her in the middle of the night. And last night we were launching the pod. So essentially, just to give your listeners an idea of the pod, we came up with the idea because we were having really shitty sound when we first started our podcast because we were in a big empty room and we just thought, we needed some kind of sound treatment, but we didn't want to transform the entire room into a recording studio, and we couldn't afford it. And it's not something I could do permanently. So we thought, how do we create a pop-up sound booth to sit inside and have kind of heavy duty material around the outside of it? And it's just big enough for 1 to 2 people. And the pod was born. And then last night I was launching it. And because she does more of like the, shipping, receiving, like duties, taxes, like kind of that stuff. And I'm like, go away. I don't want to do that. And I'm like, website branding, marketing, like that's my jam, video, photo. And we did all that stuff yesterday. So I was up till like 2:00 in the morning and I did the email blast and I did all that. And then I was like texting her, how about this? How about this? How about this? And I was like, you're asleep, aren't you? And then I get an apology text in the morning. I'm so sorry. I totally fell asleep. And I said, I know. I knew you'd be asleep. Of course, your text comes at 6 in the morning and I've had like 4 hours sleep,
I'm an old lady. Like I can't stay up that late.
But yeah, if people are interested, they can go to thepodbooth.com to see it. But it's like super affordable. It's like $3.99 US comparatively to like thousands of dollars for a pro studio. And it's just meant to basically get rid of that echo and make your voice really rich and buttery.
Yeah.
Like Steven and I.
Exactly.
Butter.
Like butter.
Velvet.
So that's our newest baby. But, the Secret Life of Weddings is going strong. We're hosting a wedding show soon here in Toronto, which is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
We actually get to MC a fashion show at it and do mini episodes.
They're crazy to
They're giving us microphones.
That is awesome.
In front of 2,000 brides. They actually are letting us talk to that many people. And like we get to advertise at the show. So it's kind of like a barter thing. And we're really excited.
And just maybe while you guys are recording, just be like, and Rebecca Lozer Photography is still available for all the brides out there.
And I'm Lisa Mark. Get the hell away from me.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, pretty much.
After all these horrible stories I've told, I can't do it anymore.
I can't. Ironically, I've had great weddings. So again, just want to say that my clients are wonderful. Not a reflection on them at all. It's just been, except for that one that made Rebecca regret her life. Just that one was tough, but other than that, it's been great.
So obviously, the podcast has influenced your lives pretty greatly. You're launching a new product that's inspired by your difficulties when you first started recording. You guys are emceeing wedding shows. You guys have a ton of listeners, a lot of fans, people who fanboy, fangirl out, whatever you want to call what I do when
Steve boy.
Steve boy.
Steve boy out.
How has the podcast affected your guys' business and the way you interact with your clients? Has it changed anything that you guys do at all?
Not really. I did get an email the other day from a listener who wanted me to potentially shoot her wedding. I've had a couple inquiries that were like, oh, I'd love to have you, or like people would want us if they could afford to get us over to wherever they're getting married.
Yeah.
So it's been very positive, because it's funny, when I started the podcast, my husband was like, oh my God, you're going to kill our business. And I said, just relax. It's fine.
You're like, don't worry, I'll kill the business soon enough.
I didn't know that at the time.
That's coming, honey.
Yeah. You just get ready. Pull your pants up. It's coming.
Or down, whatever.
Well, whatever suits you, whatever your coping mechanism is. But basically, I was confident that it wasn't going to be a negative influence, and it hasn't been. It's been a positive one. If anything, when I tell my brides about it, they laugh their asses off and think it's funny. And a lot of my previous brides listen. And
same.
Yeah,
my previous brides listen, and they actually didn't know because I don't tell my clients. I only started now in my consults. I do tell them because I don't want them to think I'm very much an open book with my clients.
Yeah.
And I just put that out there as well. Photographers, you should be an open book. Don't hide shit.
No.
They find out. It's weird. They stalk you. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I tell my clients now I have a podcast just because I don't want them going into it
thinking we're going to share their
thinking I'm going to share something if something does go wrong. So
which we don't. We have shared stories, but only ones that were funny or silly or.
Well, yeah, I shared the hard-on one at the live show.
Yeah, so fine. Hard-ons are fine,
but it wasn't my client. To be fair,
it wasn't her hard-on. It's fine.
Dustin doesn't listen to podcasts. Period. Not even our own. So he has no idea what you're talking about. So
Neither does she. She doesn't listen to podcasts or her own podcast.
I don't listen to ours, but I listen to others.
Could you fill Dustin in on the hard-on
Well,
thing?
sort of like what Lisa was saying earlier, where you don't want to look at too many photographers because then you start comparing yourself. I don't want to listen to other podcasts because then I'll just start comparing myself to other podcasts. So I like to kind of live in this box or this pod, if you will, of solo-ness where I just record it.
But have you ever listened to your show? Just to hear how you sounded?
Only the ones that Steve makes me edit, or only the ones that I'm worried about Steve making me sound like a complete idiot.
So every episode, then.
A handful. Or if somebody like messages me directly and they're like, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, oh shit, what did Steve do? And I have to listen.
Oh yeah. I get messages from her going, can you edit that out? So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah. I have to, yeah. I kind of go off a little bit sometimes.
She goes, that was nasty. Can
Yeah.
you not do that?
So back to the hard-on story.
I don't know why I don't get hate mail.
Oh, back to the hard on.
Okay, fine. The gist of it is
It's a quickie.
yeah. I had shot a wedding and you know it though, right? Like you listen to the live show? Yeah. Okay. So I'm pointing at you like you can it's so ridiculous. So anyways, I was shooting a wedding for another studio and basically that whole moment I was shooting the bride and groom. The wedding party was off to the side and I asked them to come in, as I do with all my clients, to come in, just have a moment and, you know, just be with each other. And the groom proceeded to rise to the occasion.
Oh my goodness.
And he goes and hides behind the bush. And then she
Which
said,
bush?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
yeah. And the bride's like, he needs a moment. And then, yeah, I clearly see why he needs a moment.
And then I
Yeah.
proceeded to ask, how exactly did he use that moment? And apparently he just rested.
Yes. He just rested, but then he was good. And she kept trying to get closer to him. And he's like, just stay away from me. I mean,
Yeah.
super embarrassing for him, but, or is it? Like, I don't know.
You guys care about heart? I don't know.
Yes, that's super embarrassing all the time, always.
I'd be super impressed if my husband got a hard on all the time for me. Every time he looked at me, like that'd be awesome,
Yeah.
right?
You should share that with him.
I'm sure he would appreciate that. You're thinking about him?
He's gonna be like, "You did not say that."
Yeah, he doesn't listen to the podcast and neither does mine. Mine saw us at the live show and goes, it was good, but there wasn't my wife up there. He's never heard the show before and he saw us and he's like, that's like a character. And I went, what do you talk? No, it's me. He goes, no, it's like a character. And I said, okay. I had no idea. So that was
I do
interesting.
disagree with that, but I don't know. Unless you're like in character every time I see you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
I don't know. But yeah, he was like, you're, I guess, just being on and talking and actively doing whatever.
Yeah.
He just seemed to be different. He's like, that's not my wife up there. And he goes, and it's a good thing, because he's a very, very like quiet person, not quiet, but very personal. So he really wouldn't want that side of me probably out and about.
Yeah.
Like,
He doesn't want to share his wife with the world.
yeah, sort of. So I think he probably likes the fact that it's a bit of a public side versus a private side. I didn't mean to. I don't know what that
Which
means.
you kind of need though, anyways.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's healthy.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys are a little more reserved at home, no?
Nope.
Nope.
Just clean and poop and puke. That's
Nice.
my home life.
And hard-ons all over the place.
Right?
All over.
All
I'm
over.
gonna ask my wife if she would appreciate me more if I followed your guys' advice.
Just don't do that at the same time as the cleanup because then she's going to get some really mixed messages.
Really, some mixed signals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we shoot weddings together too, so that might make it a little awkward as well.
Yeah. Not that we're
so you guys can demonstrate to newlyweds.
Exactly.
This is how it should be all the time.
Yeah. People love that Justin and I shoot together when we do.
Oh my God, I could never shoot with my husband.
Our clients say that to us.
Oh, I
all the
shouldn't
time,
say that,
too.
should I?
Oh, he doesn't listen. Who cares?
Why? What? My wife and I shoot together too. We typically get a reaction like Rebecca's. How could you ever work with your spouse? Why do you think you couldn't work with your husband, Rebecca?
Okay, do you want a story? Because he did one.
Yeah, sure. He did one?
Yeah, he did once. I was doing a destination wedding and he came with me because, he wanted to go and I needed help, of course. I couldn't shoot by myself. And he came, but the day before the wedding, I found him at the pool bar getting drunk with the wedding party.
Nice.
And I hadn't met the couple yet. So awkward. To the point, it was so bad. They licked him a lot.
As they should.
Why?
So he was walking around holding the bride's bouquet because I'm laying on a beach in sand trying to take photos. And he's holding the bouquet and they're yelling from the bar, "Come have a drink." Yeah.
To which he throws the bouquet in the ocean and runs to the bar.
Yeah. And the couple even requested that I take a picture of him holding the bouquet because they wanted it in their wedding album.
That's weird.
Right?
So he's a spotlight stealer.
Yes. Oh, he's a huge spotlight stealer.
I feel like you should have your husband at every wedding.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Oh my God, no. Oh. Anyways.
I think that should be your sales tactic. Hey, for an extra amount of money, my husband will second shoot. People love him so much. Look at this client's wedding album. They wanted him in their album.
But no, I could never. No, I can't work with him. He would drive me crazy. Because he doesn't get the whole professional.
Although he was very helpful at our live show, I must say.
He was. Yeah.
He tended
to the
bar.
point I was a little shocked. And I said, "Wow, thank you." And he's like, "Why are you thanking me?" Of course. And I'm like,
He was amazing. He was like a bartender and bouncer all in one. It was great. This massive guy behind the bar. And I'm just like, there's not going to be anything going on tonight.
Did you guys have to throw anyone out of the live show? People get too rowdy?
No.
yeah.
No, I think they were all scared of her husband. So we were good. We were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it's really strange. Like I know you said you were fanboying out, but people that came to the live show that were like super excited to talk to us.
That was weird. Yeah.
That's very strange. Very strange thing to encounter.
Yeah.
I think. Like I was like, yeah, of course I'm a person just like you.
Of course I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a reason why people love your guys' podcast, and the relationship that the two of you have, the way you guys talk to each other and communicate with each other, it's very loving, and just like the passion you guys have and the way you build each other up, it's really great to see. And I feel like you guys are only going to get more fans and more people fangirling when they see you, because you guys are such great people and people really love that aspect. And so they're going to be so excited to see you. And you guys can't sell yourself short. Like, you're going to have fans and you just got to accept it. Like, you're only going to get more popular.
I need to make a little of you and put you in my pocket.
Yes, all the time. And I'm going to call and be like, can you, Rebecca, hi Lisa, what's up? Can you put Steve on?
Here, Steve. Here, mini
You're
Steve.
awesome. Believe in yourself. Thank you, tiny pocket Steve. Seriously though, like thank you, because it's been a long week with our product launch. It's been stressful, and I needed to hear that today. So thank you, genuinely.
See, and that's why we've just been doing the opposite of you guys, where we just tear each other apart. And that's why our fans have a slightly different outlook on us as humans.
Our most recent email from a fan, I believe she said that her favorite thing about the podcast was the way we openly flirted with each other behind our wives' backs.
That's amazing.
That's kind of hot. I like that.
I love that.
Yeah. Embrace it, guys.
Yeah.
Hard-ons for everyone. Just embrace it.
So are you guys going to do live shows?
Yeah.
Oh, whenever you invite us, we will come.
Was that another hard-on joke? Listen.
I love my puns.
They can come open for us. We want to it's our dream to tour and do live shows. You guys should come open for us.
Yeah.
Saying, why don't more podcasts do that? Rebecca said it actually. She goes, why don't we start
It was
opening
my
for
brilliant
someone else?
idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just like bands.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is there no show openers for podcasts, live podcasts? Like, that would make so much sense.
So, like, I'm super into podcasts, and I'm really into like the Max Fun podcasts. Mm-hmm. And like before, I'm super into the McElroy brothers. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but they're like the three brothers. They do a show called My Brother and Me, where they give bad advice.
I've heard of that. I haven't listened to it, but I've heard of it.
That's awesome.
Every time they do a show, they also have like shows that they do with their wives, and they'll open their show with one of the shows that they do with their wives to kind of warm the crowd up and stuff. And like the shows that they do with their wives are also super popular. Like it's really, I mean, it's really interesting to listen to because they'll release like both the live shows and both around the same time. So you can kind of like listen to the crowd like build and stuff like that. Sorry, I nerd out about that kind of stuff.
No, I love it.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, we're dorks about that. We've done research. It's like, how do you tour to the U.S.? Because we actually have a bigger following in the U.S. than we do in Canada because podcasting isn't
Y'all like us over there.
Yeah.
It's weird because we have a bigger following in Canada than we do in the U.S.
Do you actually?
No. No.
Sorry, I'm starting to know when Dustin's bullshitting me, and I'm going to start calling
I didn't
him on it.
catch it. I thought he was serious. And I was like, yeah, I believe that.
I was like, no, he's full of crap.
So do you guys want to answer some weird questions from the internet?
We like weird questions.
I love weird questions.
Yes.
Let's do some Q&A.
But Steve.
Dustin, do you have the document open?
I do.
Do you want to scroll down the list? Do you want to pick one?
I would love to
big
pick
list.
one. Oh, it's 15 pages?
We have a running list of 15 pages of questions just like banked for sometime in the future. When we first started, I just would, every time I saw a question on the internet, write it down.
Holy cow.
Do you want to write
take
content for our show?
Yeah, no kidding. Can you take over?
Is that a paying job?
Is that a paying job? My interest is piqued.
No.
All right, Derek
We'll pay you in sarcasm.
Yes.
That's worth
I'll
it.
just see if my mortgage takes that. Derek from a Facebook group, a random Facebook group, asked, a past client of mine divorced his wife, and a few months later, he got engaged to someone else. Is it cool for me to message him to see if he wants me to do some wedding photos with me again? Or should I wait and see if he contacts me?
Oh my God. He's got to do it because I just want to hear what the guy says.
I feel like Steve put this in here for me.
I can't believe you picked this one, Dustin. I did put this in here just because of you. So Dustin, in a recent episode, shared that he sent a cinnamon roll ornament to a couple, and he thinks that's what caused them to get a divorce. And 2 nights ago, Dustin sent me a message and said, so that couple that I sent the cinnamon roll ornament to, the groom is now getting remarried. And I was like, oh, cool. And he's like, I messaged him to see.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, maybe this is the power of the cinnamon roll, that not only did it cause this couple to acknowledge that they weren't meant to be together, but now it's going to bring me maybe 2 weddings out of this one wedding. You know, it's a powerful ornament.
Okay. Did they reply?
He did reply, and unfortunately they are eloping somewhere, and they're using a local photographer wherever they were eloping. Some mountaintop in Iceland, probably.
Well, don't worry.
But
He'll call you for the next one.
yeah.
I would say it's a ballsy business strategy. Let me tell you.
I fucking love it.
If you have the
That's
guts,
amazing.
Why
I
not?
think I just like really like you now.
now. It took this long. I would say if you have the balls to do it, why not? The worst they'd say is no.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why a cinnamon roll ornament?
I was going to ask that too, and then I was like,
So for that, you'll really need to go back and listen to the episode, because I don't listen to them, so I don't really remember the whole story.
Gotcha. I
He
haven't
doesn't
heard that
know
one
why
yet.
he bought a cinnamon roll ornament and sent it to a
So
previous
the
client.
groom is a bodybuilder, and he carb loads. And so the running joke throughout the whole wedding day was how much he likes cinnamon rolls and like donuts and other baked goods.
Gotcha.
And so when I send my clients their USB drive, as Steve likes to ridicule me for,
You deserve it.
I like to put little tokens in the box that make it seem like I actually paid attention to things about them. And for this particular couple, their wedding
It gives the illusion. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
exactly just a little subtle like nugget of something that's like, oh wait, he
Cinnamon roll.
does listen.
Yeah.
He's thoughtful. We should have him do our next wedding.
I basically settle on just spelling their name correctly. That
There you
is
go.
my look. I paid attention to
There's
you.
your bar.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
bars cost money.
But so the groom obsessed with cinnamon rolls, and so I delivered their wedding kind of in like November. It was close to Christmas, and so I put a little cinnamon roll Christmas ornament in their little package when I sent it to them. And the running joke between Steven and I was that cinnamon roll caused the groom to realize his love for baked goods was more than his wife, and that's why he left her.
Maybe she tried to take his cinnamon rolls.
So when
from
was
him.
their wedding?
Yeah. How long did it last?
Last fall.
Okay, so about a year.
Wow.
I was really hoping it was this Christmas.
No,
Disappointed.
last fall. So they got divorced. I mean, it would probably have been like a few months after. I think I saw him selling the ring on Facebook Marketplace around like June, July.
Or he's
What
like,
a douchebag.
he's like
Oh my God.
$2,000 or best offer of 40 cinnamon rolls.
Exactly.
We'll consider trade.
Oh my
Consider
God.
trade.
That's brutal.
Can we get back to Rebecca saying what a douchebag about the guy selling the ring on Facebook Marketplace? What was he supposed to do with the ring if she didn't want it and gave it back to him?
Well, first of all, she's stupid for giving it back. I got to say that. Why would you give it back? She should sell it on the marketplace.
If he's a dick about the breakup, I agree.
No, regardless. What?
She might have broken up with him.
Well, fuck, I'd still keep it.
You're cold. Why am I the mean one in reviews?
I know. I'm such a bitch.
Didn't you guys have a story recently about like a ring bearer / groomsman who kept the rings after a wedding didn't go through and then he sold them online or something like that?
That vaguely sounds familiar. Why?
Oh my
Didn't
God,
do it?
don't ask me.
I don't know.
Listen, I do all the content, but I don't remember any of it.
She writes it, she reads it.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember it.
No,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know. That does sound vaguely familiar though.
it does.
Yeah.
That probably happened.
Oh, probably.
You guys
Yeah.
got real stuck on him being an adult, but also being the ring bearer, if I remember correctly.
That I remember. That I remember.
It's true.
And then
Yes.
the story ended with him like selling the rings. And I was like, how did he get to keep the rings?
And then we had people email us and tell us that adult ring bearers and flower girls exist. So
They're a thing now.
people feel the need to inform us when we're mistaken about things.
People take great joy on the internet in correcting you.
Yes, especially the whole coral thing.
Do the adult ring bearers and flower girls walk down the aisle together, like spreading the flower petals? And how does that work?
I've heard of ring grandmas. Yeah, I don't know. Never
Yeah.
seen one.
Yeah,
in my
I've had
life.
ring grandmas before.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. It was such a big deal that our local newspaper published a story and like sent a photographer out.
Oh,
And you're like, get the fuck out of the aisle right now.
Well, they did it like before the wedding started. They just like
Oh.
gathered the grandmas and took a photo because in the bride's mind, it was like a big deal that like all of her 2 grandmas and his 2 grandmas were still living and they wanted to incorporate them some way. And they thought it would be a super Pinteresty thing to have them like dressed the same and like walk
yeah.
down the
super
aisle the
Pinteresty
same.
if they have a heart attack on the way down. Like,
Yeah.
really? What the fuck?
Dark.
Yeah.
Well, you really run the risk.
That went dark real fast.
They're not running down the aisle, Rebecca.
It doesn't matter. Look, we've had stories where we didn't share them because, they're a little dark for our show.
Not
Where-
for ours.
Grandparents have died like during the wedding. So why would you add, cardio to that?
There's no car. How fast do your brides walk down the aisle?
Here in America, they sprint, I guess.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh,
In Canada, it's just like more of a leisurely walk. And here, we're really anxious, really excitable.
Go,
kidding.
go.
I'm like, slow
Go,
down.
Granny. Go, Granny. Don't drop the ring.
My favorite is when the brides, in post, you're doing albums or something, they start to get real picky about like the expression of the father or the bridesmaids. I'm like, well, he didn't look that way when he was walking you down the aisle, and I didn't exactly pose this moment. So, there's only so much you can do with that ceremony walk with the photos. It's like, I captured what you did.
I love when couples say, my parents are going to cry. They're going to cry for sure. The parents don't cry.
And they never cry. The ones that they say they're going to cry, they never cry. Expectation dashed.
Yeah, I always wonder because I've had so many brides this year say to me right before the wedding ceremony, like the ones who don't do a first look, like, oh, he's gonna, like, he better cry. Like, I'm gonna turn around and walk out if he like doesn't cry. He's gonna cry. And then I'm always like, oh shit, that's like so much like pressure on me. Like, do I need to run up and ball tap him? Like,
ball tap him, Dustin. Jeez.
Bring a little bottle of Visine.
Because if he doesn't tear up, like her whole day is ruined.
Get some tweezers.
Yeah. Pluck an eyelash.
We actually do.
Pluck an eyelash.
We've seen some really crappy first looks. Like he turns around and goes, hey. So we actually, my husband will go up and be like, dude, you have to make a big deal. You have to.
Go out there and get your heart on.
Seriously. I thought he said get your heart on for a minute. And I was like, that's really romantic, Dustin.
Either or.
Really romantic way to put it.
I had a really good first look once. Mm-hmm. With the groom
as he
10 years. As he was kneeling at the altar and he winked at me.
Whoa.
What?
First look with you. Interesting.
They divorced 2 weeks later.
Ouch.
Oh.
Oh my God.
And then he slid in your DMs or?
No kidding, right?
It was so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, he cheated on her.
I'll tell you something weird. Okay, I'm a big believer in like the universe and like things are meant to be, or you're taking paths and this and that. Rebecca and I are meant to work together because of weird coincidences. Like she lives on the street that I grew up on.
This is so weird.
In the town that I grew up in. Now she didn't grow up in Milton. You didn't grow up.
No,
in
I'm
Milton,
from Cambridge.
She's from Cambridge. So my point
is 45 minutes away.
Yeah. So she moved to Milton, but she grew up like she's literally several houses just down from where I spent the majority of my childhood. And we realized that after we were just hanging out and started the podcast even, I think, or we figured it out along the way. And then just yesterday we were doing a business license or something and I saw her middle name and I'm like, so we have the exact middle name, the same middle name. We're both Ann with no E. And I was just like, that's weird. Like just, we keep having these weird...
It is because we're so far apart in age. That is weird.
It's just strange. I don't know. It's just spelled a specific way and it's the only middle name. And it was just, we keep finding out these random little signs that we're meant to be working together. With that,
because I don't share.
She doesn't. I didn't know about your hand.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Weird, right?
I'm totally telling our listeners to listen to this because we're spilling a lot that they haven't heard. So
we
it's not just going to be like,
it's not our show.
I know. I know. It's good. It's good.
And can we take this weirdness like one step further though? Because Rebecca is married to a Steve and Lisa is married to a Justin that's one letter different than Dustin. And you guys are doing a podcast with a Steve and Dustin. And we're in 2 different countries.
You're blowing my mind right now.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing. And my son's name is Justin.
That's true too.
We just pulled that thing full circle.
And my stepdad's name is Steve.
Whoa.
Like 17 degrees of misdirection connection.
Stuff that has nothing to do with anything. But
Alice from a Facebook group asked a question. I had a couple say they were ready to sign the contract at a recent meeting after viewing some of my sample albums. I pulled out a hard copy, and put it in front of them. I told them to take their time reading it over and went to tip the waitress and make a little small talk so they wouldn't feel rushed. I heard a little commotion, and when I looked over, it looked like the bride had spilled some tea on the contract. When I walked back over there, it was ruined. Unfortunately, I didn't have a second one that day, so I asked if I could just email them one later.
Mm-hmm.
After the meeting, I noticed that my leather-bound sample album that they had been looking at before I gave them the contract was dripping wet. The pages were soaked.
No.
I didn't want to lose the sale,
Thanks.
so I didn't mention it. I just sent the contract. That was a month ago. I haven't heard from them since. I emailed a follow-up and texted once, but nothing. Assuming they aren't going to book with me, should I ask them to pay for a new sample album?
No.
No, cost of doing business, my friend.
Yeah.
It's like when you lose gear. it
Was that
gets
really a
stolen.
question?
Yes.
What an idiot. Like, really?
Oh,
Is
dear.
that a question? I don't care if they hate me. That's a stupid question.
Again, why am I the main
Oh,
one?
they didn't book me, so now I'm going to make them pay for my freaking album?
But they fucked it up.
I think it's a valid question because, I mean, for example, what we do in our business is I actually slide across a waiver before we get our books out that, you know, assigns liability to them in the event that anything should happen to our belongings
Right?
post or prior or during our consultation.
Bloody price of them. I wouldn't blame you. Jeez.
Well, I just want them to feel that the value of our albums when I'm charging them $10,000 an album, you know, is really comes across. And then I get the briefcase out with the handcuff, like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, diamond style. And, you know, I have a guy named
Blues Brothers? Are you old enough? Blues Brothers style?
and he comes over and he, you know, takes the handcuff off, opens the briefcase, and I hand them their wedding album to look at. This is just a sample album from Miller's, but, you know, I want them to get the full effect of my upcharge.
Right. Of course.
fair.
I mean, yeah.
So that's how we handle it.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean,
I would maybe not have my consult at a fucking restaurant with tea.
Coffee is more your thing.
No, just don't put that near them. Or like, no, I do give my clients coffee, but they've never spilled it on an album, knock on wood. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what, like, really?
You can't do anything. My point is
No.
it's the cost of doing business. You know, it's life.
The thing too
Sucks.
is, oh, yeah, okay, I'll let it go if they book me, but if they don't, I'm going to send them a bill.
Do you know, I thought that was actually,
Yes.
Have fun with getting them to pay it.
yeah, good
Dumbass.
luck with that. But then you're going to get your name smeared all over too.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually
Let it
thought
go.
I thought it was going to go the other direction, that she did
Smeared all over with tea.
with tea. I thought it was going to go the other direction where she I thought they poured tea on the contract to ruin it because they didn't want to sign it.
That's one way out. They're like, oh shit, she's coming back.
Yeah, I thought that's what
Yeah.
they were doing. I guarantee that's probably what they did. They didn't want to sign
And
it.
they're
They
like,
felt
while we're
pressured.
at it, let's just destroy this album too.
Let's make this believable.
Yeah, I think the album was
Screw
just
her.
misfortunate.
Excuse me, can I get
edition.
another tea? I used it all up on this contract, and I'd like one for my wedding album. Thank you.
That's when you know what? She should have just pulled out a dryer,
Yeah,
went to the bathroom, dried it off, tea stained and all, and been like, okay, here's good now.
it's sepia.
Yeah.
This is my antique album.
Sepia's back, guys. Didn't you know?
What about this? What if the photographer didn't have a pen and the couple was like, what the hell am I supposed to sign this in? And they attempted to sign it in tea. Moving forward, this photographer doesn't realize they booked her on the spot.
Right?
Oh yeah. It's like a Rorschach pattern.
And now, man, we need to get in contact with her.
And
Yeah.
then she's going to write an angry email being like, we signed our contract very clearly in tea 2 months ago, and you have not been in touch at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is why I think, you know, Lisa, you should stay in wedding photography because there's just so much of this goodness that you are missing out on.
I know. I'm going to miss it dearly.
Oh.
But on a completely unrelated but related question that I had yesterday, kind of related to this, not related to photography at all, but I figured this is a good forum to ask since I saw you guys go to Starbucks and that mine was just delivered.
By your child? Why'd you get it to Starbucks?
My wife is finally home, so she...
Oh, she's home. Yay.
I actually saw you drink that, and I was like, since when does he have a Starbucks?
I just pull them down.
Mine's empty, so yeah.
So when you're in line at Starbucks...
Oh, do you have one in your house like Tommy Lee?
Yes.
That would be great.
Yes.
Sorry,
We
I'm
do a lot
interrupting.
of weddings. We can afford nice things like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a barista. She just sits on the other side of my pod.
Her name's
We make
Vanessa.
thousands in one day.
Actually, I'm taking your pod and I'm going to put it inside Starbucks right next to the, like where you get
Can we should put a Starbucks inside the pod and then
Yes.
sell it there. We can team with them.
Done.
team with them. Co-sponsors.
Co-sponsors. I'll let you ask your question.
So my brain thinks legalese all the time. Like I'm always like, who would be liable in this scenario? And this question kind of made me think of that is, so when you go through Starbucks, do you guys use like the app they have to pay?
I do.
I don't.
Okay, so then Lisa, you can answer this. Rebecca, stay quiet.
I often do.
Rebecca, shut up.
Stop, Rebecca. So when you pay with your phone, so yesterday when I paid, like their little scan gun, you know how sometimes it like can't read your phone?
Yeah.
And like so this barista like grabbed my phone like out of her hand to like scan it inside. And then when she handed it back to me, she nearly dropped it. And I'm curious, like in that instance, if they drop your phone, your iPhone Max $10,000 phone, and it falls and breaks, who's responsible in that scenario?
You know, we're wedding photographers, right?
You.
Is that a cost of doing business for Starbucks?
You shouldn't have given it to her.
I didn't. She took it from my hand.
Well, you should have said no. Don't touch.
Man, Rebecca, you are hard.
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Nothing.
I don't want to. I want to live in my fantasy world, Lisa.
No, I'll tell you what will really happen. The client will say the client, the person. I call everybody clients in the world, neighbors, everybody.
I tell my children. I call them my clients.
Clients. The clients need to go to bed. They're being assholes.
Yeah.
No, the person will complain to quote head office. They will give them a remote amount of money that's not enough to properly replace it new. They'll get something that's halfway there, and that'll be it. It's like that'll be the best. Like that's logically what'll probably happen in this world because they don't want to avoid. They want to avoid the nasty PR, and they'll have them sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. That's what would probably happen, I think. So they'll probably split the difference. Right or wrong, I don't know. In a perfect world, if they grabbed it from you, yeah, they would pay for it, in my opinion. But I don't think that would happen.
Gotcha.
No. Because people will purposely drop their phone when their phone is on the fucking fritz, and then Starbucks will be buying everybody new phones.
Yeah.
Hey, scan my phone. Whoops! I can't
Yes.
believe you.
I thought you had it.
So, can we get back to the awesome marketing idea that you guys stumbled across there, though? Are you guys going to take the pod to like a tea hose and just set it up in the middle and record a podcast?
You know what? That would be fucking hilarious.
That would be funny.
This sounds
love
like a
to do
great
that.
guerrilla marketing campaign.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Take it to a tea house, take it like down by the railroad tracks or something. No, that'd probably be way too loud for any soundproofing railroad tracks.
Yeah, don't give me things that aren't going to work. Okay. Like we said, have a quiet room. Don't be an idiot about it. But
I definitely think you could do a lot of like fun viral type videos of like, hey, I'm a food like restaurant, critique or reviewer podcast person, and just like show that person like going into a restaurant as he's like eating and sampling the food. He just like sets this booth up right in the middle of the restaurant.
dude, it's a little big for that. We do have a mobile version that we're designing, but it's not going to be out for a few months.
Yeah, this thing is 7 feet tall.
This thing is
That's
big.
okay. Bigger.
Restaurants have to have ceilings that are like 8 feet tall, right? You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what? People told us a lot of people stand to record, and we didn't want anybody to stand and hit their head off the steel.
We're too lazy. Too lazy.
Same.
Yeah, I
We
couldn't
said,
stand. No way.
No.
Like we did an interview with Ben Hartley, and he said that he likes to kind of move and pace to keep the energy up during his podcast episodes. And I was like, yeah, me too. Well, I'm sitting stationary, talking to you.
Stretch.
Yeah.
Senior exercises, right? Like,
Mhm.
Meanwhile, you can hear your butt expanding. No, I feel you. I'm so not. I was in a bad mood earlier, and my husband goes,
I think that's a female reference.
"What's that?"
Butt expanding? I don't know. As
No?
a male, I don't know if I can relate to that.
Oh, I promise you, male asses expand over time if you don't.
ooh, I've seen bad male asses before. Yeah.
Of course. Every ass has the ability to expand if you're lazy enough.
Or contract.
That's true. If you're anxious enough.
If you're-
I think now we're talking about holes, actually, if it's contracting when you're anxious.
Okay, I'm going to warn you right now. You're about to go down a road. I don't know.
It's like that whole reference. Anything can be a dildo if you really want it to be.
Where did that come from?
Did you see that going around on Facebook?
No. No, I did see the meme on Facebook, though, where people posted photos of people coughing.
It was
And
a
it makes-
girl beside a cactus. And
No.
it said, it was a meme. It was a girl standing beside a
Was
cactus.
she smiling?
And it says,
Or did she-
anything can be a dildo if you want it to
But
be.
I never saw that. But was she nervous looking or smiling? And my other follow-up question is,
She looked excited. Like she was like,
Okay, good. Secondly, my follow-up question is, did you see the one where people were coughing and it looks like they're giving ghost blowjobs?
So that's amazing. I have not seen that.
Oh, it's great. It's like every stock photo. Like if you
Hold on, can you do that again? I need a screenshot real quick.
Yeah. This is not going to be the cover of this episode. But it's so true, right? Every stock photo, if you Google coughing and you look it up, it's terrible. And it gets worse when it's like grandmother's coughing and, grandfather's coughing.
Do they have their teeth in?
Now we're just getting into quality control.
We're going to get an email and they're going to be like, we cannot use this interview.
It was nice meeting you. I'm no longer going to listen to you.
This is solid gold. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we're sitting here having a conversation about reverse ghostbustering, I believe is what this would be called.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I just got it.
Because Dan Aykroyd gets the blowjob from the ghost in Ghostbusters.
That's right. Yeah, that took me a while. When I was little, did not get it.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. I get it now, though. Like just now, today, years old. Yeah.
I had to watch the scene multiple times as an adult before I was like, that's what just happened. Oh,
yeah.
Well, good for him.
That's nice. Maybe it was
Slimer.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
Well, I did learn from your guys' Facebook groups that people marry ghosts and have sex with them. So
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't see the sex part. I did see the marry part. The pirate that looks like Johnny Depp.
The sex part was when I went further down into the article and clicked all the sub-articles underneath and stuff. And
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's also called masturbation. Just putting that out there.
Self-care.
Self-attention.
Yeah.
Ghost sex.
Alone time.
You know what? There are so many adolescent boys right now having sex with ghosts. It's unbelievable. Ghost sex is on the rise. I can't believe we're not reading about it on Huffington Post.
It's like that. I had to break a sock in half. Movie reference.
Jesus. Oh.
Which movie did Rebecca just reference though?
Bridesmaids. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that part. That was shortly before I turned it off.
Wait, did we just find a movie that Rebecca and Lisa both watched?
Nope,
No, watched a quarter of it.
Turned it off. It was so terrible.
It's so awesome.
You turned off Bridesmaids?
Horrifyingly bad.
It's a wedding movie. You have to watch
It's so
it.
gross. Do you know that disgusting humor? Don't like it. It's just too it's like you're being gross and trying to be funny, but it's not funny. You're just being disgusting.
So you're describing our podcast.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
No, it's a style of humor that's quote funny right now, and I don't like it. It's I even tried another movie, This Is 40 or whatever. Terrible. Terrible. Just I couldn't get past it. It's that whole I want to say it's Paul Rudd stuff. I don't know. I can't remember, but
Whoa. Paul Rudd?
It's all right. Paul Rudd is like my favorite comedian of all time.
is it Paul Rudd stuff? One of them is I don't know if it's him. I don't pay much attention because I don't like the genre, but
I think you're talking about like Judd Apatow produced stuff.
Okay.
thank you.
Yes.
Sorry. I like Paul Rudd as an actor. He was in Friends for a while. But no.
Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow.
Ant-Man?
Yeah, I never saw it though.
Okay.
No, you're right. It's Judd Apatow. Don't like that stuff.
One thing though, Robin from a Facebook group had a question. And Robin thought specifically you guys would be able to answer this.
Is it about ghost blowjobs? Because I'm really up on that right now.
Oh,
It could be close. I'm not.
it's about your neighbor, isn't it?
I don't feel like I'm educated enough to answer this. That's why we've been saving this one for you.
Okay.
Robin from a random Facebook group asked, I really like the feel and taste of cold metal things. If it's really cold outside during a shoot, would it be possible for your tongue to get stuck to your lens? If you licked it, I shoot Nikon.
I like that she asks about shooting Nikon. She mentions that.
Oh my God, where are you finding these questions?
I'm in like 250 different Facebook groups.
The deep, deep, dark web.
Are you on the? Yeah, you guys are on the dark web. Holy shit.
I think I have an answer for this.
Yes.
Okay.
Robin, get your pen and paper out. We're going on this.
I'm going to say that You won't have much luck because if you think about a lens, most of it is wrapped in rubber, right? So you've got the lens grip,
Yeah.
which is
Please
rubber.
describe the lens to us so we
Yeah.
can really.
It's spherical.
Would you say it's round or would you say that it's not round?
See, I got the reference.
Yeah.
That's a callback to any squeens who know what we're talking about. It's cylindrical.
Okay.
Cylindrical. It's got glass on the front, so if you stick your tongue to the glass, that's not satiating your metal, tendency there. And also, you're just going to fog up. You're just going to fog up your glass and not be able to use it.
That would be bad. Yep.
It won't stick. Then you've got that tiny little metal piece around the, where the filter kind of screws on. That's not going to be enough to stick your tongue onto it. And then you've got the contacts on the back, which are metal, but that's a bad idea because there's electronics involved. So I would say, and they're dirty, guys. They're dirty. Have you ever wiped your contacts? They're disgusting. So I would say you're not going to have much luck, even if you try, and you'll probably get a disease.
I have a question. What's her name again?
Her name is Robin.
I think it was Lisa, actually.
Yeah.
Robin.
Right here.
This is for Robin.
Okay.
I have found your boyfriend. He's in our neighborhoods licking doorbells.
I saw that.
Gross.
I saw that. There was like a dude who walked up to a doorbell, a Ring doorbell, licked it for 3 hours.
I laughed so
looking
hard.
at the camera like this.
Oh my God. Have you guys seen that?
I'm not kidding.
No.
Oh my God. It's hilarious.
I'm just going to say there's a lot of assumptions being made right now about Robin's gender. Robin goes both ways.
Robin goes
does he
both
go
ways.
both ways? Steve,
Everybody-
maybe you're making some assumptions about Robin.
To be fair, everybody can go both ways nowadays.
Yes.
So nothing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I know. It's hard when you're trying to assume, but metal
We'll have to-
licking is not gender specific.
We need to call Batman and ask what Robin's gender is.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, I hope that answered Robin's question.
That's a movie and comic for you, Lisa. I know you don't watch a lot.
I do. That's the irony. I do. I just watch good ones. She just brings up the shitty ones.
Oh, so I've been curious about that. You guys talk about good ones versus
I do.
shitty ones a lot. What is a good movie to Lisa?
The Departed.
I love that movie.
The Godfather. I
love that movie.
Train Spotting.
So you're going Scorsese.
I like that. I might just be saying that because my husband's finishing up The Sopranos right now, so I'm very mob-minded. But it's ironic. Oh, okay. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Any John
I love that
Hughes,
one.
John Hughes flicks. Control, which I've said before, and you should watch it. It's more indie. It's incredible. It's the story of Joy Division, and he ended up killing himself and everything. So spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert! Can't watch that now.
Gone with the Wind is fabulous.
Oh, yes.
Love
Love that.
like Psycho.
Yep.
A lot of
Those
Alfred
are
Hitchcock.
those are very similar. Gone with the Wind, Psycho.
Anything recent though?
Define recent. How many years ago are we talking? No, you know what? Honestly,
This year,
This year? No, I have
2018.
I have children though. I don't really get to go to movies anymore.
Okay, but like movies that came out in the past 2 years.
Mm,
3 years.
just give me a minute. It's one of those things where it's on the tip of your tongue and you'll think of it in a second. There are things we like, but I don't know.
I like a lot.
She likes everything. Her standards are very low.
No,
That's why she's friends with me.
I love my movies.
That was a self-diss. That's okay.
It's okay. I was going to say it if you didn't.
Oh, that's nice.
Damn, Dustin. Wow.
But then I was going to say, that's why Steve hangs out with me because his standards are equally as low.
Fair enough. No, you know
Or
what?
are they,
We've been more into TV series the last couple years, I got to be honest, because we're all streaming services and we're parents at home.
Okay,
So
did you watch Bird Box?
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my to-watch list as well as Bandersnatch.
Did you guys see Bird Box?
I want to watch it, but it's hard to watch something that like all I do is see like people mocking it or mimicking it or doing like comedy bits about it. So I'm like, now I don't know if I could fully enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because all I see are like people in blindfolds wandering around schools and offices.
Mhm.
Well, it's hard to watch too because the monster, if you see the monster, apparently takes on whatever
Yeah.
your worst fear is. So you can't watch the movie with your eyes. You actually have to wear a bandage over your eyes the whole time. Otherwise, the monster can jump out of the TV and get you.
Oh, good to know. Now I'm never watching it.
I'm
That's
curious about
terrifying.
something. If
Oh.
the wedding industry will take on this challenge this year.
What?
The Bird Box Challenge.
Okay, I don't know
What is
anything.
the Bird Box Challenge?
It's so stupid. Okay, everyone out there, you're all stupid doing this.
Listeners,
Hey, this is why we have so many subscribers.
No. See, this
Because
is
they're all
why
so
she edited me
stupid.
out.
No,
No,
surprisingly,
it's
that's
so
not the part I edit
stupid.
out.
It's so stupid. They put on the blindfolds and try to go around their neighborhood and shit.
You're gonna
And
get
that's
hit
the
by a
challenge?
car.
Yeah, but they're doing it to an extent that they're like crossing roads
Ooh.
and shit, which is just dumb.
Oh,
Or they're doing now it's become a food challenge.
Oh,
So you
great.
eat whatever's on the plate and you
Mm.
can't see what it is, and it's like 4-day-old food and shit.
Oh, that's gross.
I want to do the wedding photography Bird Box Challenge.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Shoot
no-
a wedding blindfolded.
there's no photos of the day.
Don't make contact with the bride. Eye contact with the bride. Just completely. In fact, just leave the lens cap on.
Just Dumbledore, Harry Potter, book 5 her, right? You just never really make contact, never acknowledge the existence of.
Yeah. I don't know Harry Potter.
I love those movies. Those are great.
I'm old. I'm older than you guys.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is ageless.
This is going to drive me crazy now about this like recent movie thing because I swear to God, I've seen some movies that aren't kids' movies and liked them. I just can't think of anything.
It's okay. All last year, I just sat and watched Princess Sophia pretty much every day, all day.
Sophia, it's Sophia the First, Dustin.
Not in our house, Steven. Damn it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Hotel Transylvania. That was pretty good.
That's the old one. There's Hotel Transylvania 2 now.
I know, and I saw 3 and it sucked. So there's that.
Yeah,
We
Steve.
just saw-
Oh, there's 3 even. Wow. Lisa, you're more recent than me.
I know. We just saw Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet. It wasn't very good, unfortunately. I like the first one, though. This is what I am now. I'm a mother of a 7 and 5-year-old. What do you expect from me, people? I used to be cool, my favorite movie on, surveys was like Train Spotting, dead baby crawling on the ceiling. Heroin, Ewan McGregor, awesome. And I'm just like, cool, what kid movie is on Netflix to like shut them up for 2 hours? Like that's what I see,
Yeah.
Do you still watch Danny Boyle movies?
No, I only ever really got into Train Spotting. So I
No, you weren't a fan of 28 Days Later?
I did watch it, but I'm not really massively into horror. I love thrillers. Like I love Silence of the Lambs. Like give me a good thriller. Those are awesome. And then I do love some corn, but I would be closer to like a Grumpy Old Men or Bridget Jones's Diary. Like that's more the corn that I like.
Yeah.
I don't like the gross comedy. That's really the turnoff for me is just if you're making diarrhea jokes and barf jokes and all of that. Like what's the other one? Hangover was terrible for me. Terrible. So I don't like it. And it all started with that movie. And ever since then, I'm like, nope, I'm out until this crap finishes up.
I love The Hangover.
I know you do. But you know what? This is okay. This is why we are great because it would be boring if we liked everything the same.
Boring as hell.
Friction is good, because we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we would love to sit here and chat movies with you guys for the rest of the day because we've been doing it for like 15 minutes now because I'm very interested in this and in you guys. But we should really wrap this up. It's been almost 2 hours now.
Oh my God.
So can you guys tell our listeners where they can find you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So any podcast app, basically, you can find Secret Life of Weddings.
Wait, you guys have a podcast?
I know, right? Believe it or not, we do. Shit show wedding stories.
It's explicit.
It's explicit. So don't listen to it with the kids around unless you don't. You can also find us at secretlifeofweddings.com or find out about our new project at thepodbooth.com.
Awesome.
I love that branding, by the way, for the pod.
Thank you.
It's a good name.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
The Facebook group that you someday create should be called The Pod People.
I love that. I'm so stealing that. And it's going to be like copyright Dustin.
Yep.
In brackets.
That's okay. I'll
Thank
take
you for
that.
having us. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to pimp your individual Instagram handles, Twitter, anything like that as well?
For me, honestly, Secret Life of Weddings is probably the best at Secret Life of Weddings and at the Pod Booth is for Instagram.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, I mean, do you want to put your...
Oh, after this, I don't think anyone's hiring me. But
What do you? What is your Rebecca Lozer one?
Rebecca Lozer.
Well, that's Rebecca's. So.
And kudos for getting my last name right.
Yeah.
No one ever does.
No?
No, I would say loser.
Wait.
Oh, dear.
They do.
Wow. That's
So
cruel.
I don't give out business cards, just to tell you quickly. People will ask me, oh, how do I find you? I'm like, it's super easy. It's Rebecca. If you can remember my first name, you'll remember the last because it's Lozer, but it's still spelled with a Z instead of an S. So it's like loser. So just think Rebecca Lozer and you'll find me.
You
Man.
got to stop saying that.
No, it's amazing. Do you know how many people, they actually remember it?
That's funny.
Love
Well,
it.
congratulations. I'll never forget that. Well, sorry to talk your ear off for 2 hours.
That was like a dream come true for me. So
Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me? This is the most enjoyment I've had all week.
Well, a little break from the, excrement. It's good.
Yeah.
thank you guys so much
Thank you.
for coming on our podcast and doing this with us today. It was so much fun to get to talk to you guys and hear you guys' opinions.
You're so welcome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wedding Photo Hangover podcast with Dustin and Steve and Rebecca and Lisa this week. If you want to help us out, jump on iTunes or Stitcher and leave us a 5-star review. If you want to connect, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Wedding Photo Hangover, on Twitter at WedPic Hangover. Dustin is on Instagram at Dustin_McKibben and Steven is at Steven Van Elk. If you want to get involved with the awesome community of listeners, join the Wedding Hangover Facebook group. If you really want to warm our hearts though, head on over to anchor.fm/wedding photo hangover and you can sign up to support us for as little as 99 cents a month. Unless we switch over to doing Patreon, which Lisa and Rebecca told us to do multiple times during our interview with them.
Yes.
It's extremely helpful to us, though, when people support us into the making of this podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time your head is pounding, your limbs feel like dead weight, and your entire being aches for the sweet embrace of death. That's right. Next Sunday after you shoot another wedding. It's harder to do the thing where you say it at the same time as me when we're not in the same location, Dustin, but that was a really good effort, and I'm very proud of you.
I just follow your lips.
Which you can't see because there's a microphone in the way.
Oh, I just use your dimples as reference.
Dustin, we just recorded for almost 2 hours with Lisa and Rebecca. It was one of the most fun interviews we've done, and we should really sign off now.
Yeah, it was Steve. It was as great people say, a good episode.
Yes, great people do say that. It was a sweet episode.
Oh, sweet.
You're gonna zig me, I'm gonna zag you.
Changing
All
it.
right. All right, Dustin.
I just want to picture like how many husbands and how many wives in their everyday life have started saying good.
It's going to be a lot because I only started saying it because of the McElroy brothers saying it. And
so
their
you're not even
podcast is much more popular than ours.
Damn it, Steve.
Well, actually, I started saying it before I knew who the McElroy brothers were. But the person I was saying it because of was saying it because he listened to the McElroy brothers. So it all goes back to them.
We owe them royalties.
Yes, we do. So many royalties. All right, Dustin, I got to go.
Me too.
We've been recording for over 2 hours and we totally missed lunch.
Yep. I got to go put a microwave in.
All right. Have fun, buddy.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You have a spiritual heart on for Ryan Reynolds, don't you, honey?
He's my hall pass, man.
Mine too.
Does the wife know?
The wife is Ryan Reynolds.
She dresses up like Deadpool.
Oh, God.
Wedding Photo Hangover was edited this week by Steve Van Elk of Bespoke Tone. Go to Bespoke Tone for all of your photo, video, and audio editing needs. Woo-wee.